Hello YouTube, I'm here again inside of my 2006 Mazda MX-5 Miata, and this time I'm going to go over some of the faults with the Miata. It's definitely not a fault-free car, that's for sure. Fault number one is probably the cargo space. If you can see right next to me, yeah, that's my television. I went to go pick it up from my roommate. Oh, and it's starting to rain. I went to go pick that up from my roommate, and it doesn't fit in the trunk, so it's riding shotgun with me, and it's kind of, you know, bumping shoulders with me. So that's not exactly fun when you go to pick up big items in this car. Fault number two is the air conditioning. It's not a very powerful air conditioning unit in this car, especially when you add in the fact that the car is not well insulated. This top is really just to keep the rain off, which it's raining now. That's all it is. The Miata, for all intents and purposes, is a convertible that has no roof, but if it rains, there's this thing that goes over and stops the rain from getting you wet. That's all it is, basically. So in the heat of Florida, this car gets freaking hot. It's got a black leather interior, which only adds to the heat, and Florida is basically an armpit. There's a lot of humidity, and this car has a lot of problems cooling down, even when the air conditioning is blowing cold. I've had to recharge the AC system 4 times, I think, since I've owned this car. Basically, after a while, it just starts blowing hot air. It gets a little better when you're moving. When you're at a standstill on one of those hot days and you're baking in this car when the air conditioning doesn't work. So I just got it recharged. My Mazda dealership, they do that for free for me, so that's pretty nice. And it definitely helps. So the air conditioning is blowing very cold right now, and I'm nice and cool because it's really hot right now in May in Florida. Fault number 3 that I've had with my particular car is the latch for the convertible roof. And the convertible roof on this car is amazing. You can just undo it with one hand and go whoosh, and it's back in 2 seconds. It's one of the fastest convertible tops in the world. People, you know, always marvel at how fast I can always put it down and bring it up. But one of my friends was doing it for me. This jerk actually moved up further north in Florida, so I can't reprimand him for it. He pulled it without pushing the release button that you have to obviously push to undo the latch, and the plastic piece that covers the actual metal latch keeps falling off every time I undo it, so I have to do it a little more carefully now so that that plastic piece doesn't come off. So that's always annoying every time you put the roof down. Another user error, I would say, is the Passenger-Side Sun Visor. So on a normal car, you know, a sun visor is usually made out of fabric and has a mirror on the inside, and it's sort of like a nice thing to block you from the sun. In the Miata, they're made out of the same material that, you know, the dashboard is normally made out of, and it's not held on the way a normal sun visor would be. It's sort of clipped in here, and the one on the passenger side broke. So all it did was hang down, which is kind of annoying if you don't want the visor down. So I had to use tape to hold it. I could do the job that would, you know, replace this. It's not an expensive part. I think OEM, it's like 20 bucks or something like that. But I'd have to take off the entire window lining just to do that. So it's taped, and if my passenger has sun in their eyes, well, too bad. And now the third problem, which is a pretty recent problem now, is the rattling in this car. I just took it in to get looked at for the service, you know, because I know people at the Mazda dealership, and they don't, you know, usually charge me just to diagnose stuff. And they discovered that there's clips for the convertible mechanisms that exist behind the passenger seat that are just completely shot. And the clips are cheap, you know, they're $2 each, and I think I need, you know, a couple of those. But they wanted to charge $250 for the labor to replace these $2 clips. So I'm gonna go back and ask them exactly where the clips are, so I'll just, you know, take apart the car myself and fix them. Certain things, I'm not that good at doing on my car, but I think for a couple dollar clips that I can go by myself and $200, worth of maintenance, I think I can figure it out. So those are definitely the faults on the 2006 Miata. It's an excellent car, but no car is without its faults.